What's up, guys? So I am back with another video on an installation for my 2016 Ram 1500. One of the problems with my truck was that it was a used truck, so I did not get to select the options that I wanted for the truck myself. In saying that, I didn't get a backup camera, and I really don't like the fact that I can't see what's directly behind my truck, especially with trying to hook up the trailer or anything like that. So I want to show you a product that I bought and that I will be installing today. And give you a quick review. Everything seems easy, but let me take a look at it with you real quick. So there's my dog. So what we have here is the Crux Sightline rear view integration kit. Inside the kit itself, you get a ton of stuff. There's your instructions, pretty simple. I did open this up already, take a look. Here is your backup camera itself, mounted to what looks to be a pretty close to factory finish there. So that looks pretty good. This is your harness that goes between your factory radio connection and the back of the radio. This is your auxiliary cable that runs from the back of the vehicle, plugs in right here, all the way up to the front of the car, and it does have one power connection. That power connection actually ties into the white cable, as you'll see in here. And finally, you have your Sightline module. Now, price-wise, this thing runs about, I think it was $320 for this. A factory one, or a factory radio for my truck, runs about $300, but you then have to have the vehicle reflash. One of the benefits to this is I do not have to have the truck reflash in order for this to work. The reflash around here costs about, I think it was $100. So I definitely didn't want to go that route, just because it's about $400, which, I mean, I can afford it. I want to try something different. This is plug and play, or at least it's supposed to be. We'll find out as soon as we install it today. But yeah, and then it also does have here, and I didn't see this before, it does have here the wiring instructions. The instructions themselves aren't very good whatsoever. I mean, they're really, honestly, they're junk. They're back there now. I don't even give a shit about them. This is straightforward. It's easy. If you know anything about your vehicle, how to take it apart, this is all simple to do. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to jump to being outside, show you how to take the rear tailgate cover off, and we'll get the installation started. Alright, so we are back. We're at the rear of my vehicle. You're going to want to, essentially, we're going to be replacing your tailgate handle, as again you can see here. We're going to pull out that factory one. We're going to throw this one in real quick. What you want to do essentially is just take out the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 T30 Torx screws. That'll remove this cover if you have it on there, and it'll also remove the metal cover that lies beneath here, so we can get access to the tailgate. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and I'll be right back with you. So as you can see, I have the cover off. It was essentially just this cover here. Take out all those screws, and this metal piece comes off. I've just slid it back there with the cover. Next, what you're going to do is take off this screw right here, as well as, that nut right there, as well as that nut right there, using an 8mm socket. I just got one screwdriver attachment here because they're actually not that tight, so we can go ahead and rip them out. Make sure, I mean, you can drop the screws down there, but try not to, just because they're kind of a pain to get back out of there. If you don't have to, then it's way better. And again, if you want to put this on your drill and do it, you can, but this literally takes 2 seconds just to bang these two out. And then with them out, we can go ahead and steal these out of here. Alright, apparently I had a little bit more to go. That other one should be close to coming off. and then essentially you just pull the factory piece down, and then you just have to wiggle it out to get it around this lock mechanism and this handle mechanism here. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that and reinstall the new one, and I'll show you where it goes. All right, so I do have the factory radio out. As you can see, just popped it out through that hole there. And with this out, you want to remove the lock mechanism. These are two 8mm bolts again. So we're just gonna pop them off real quick, and we're gonna install that right here to this assembly on the new piece, and then we're gonna fish this wire up and through. So give me a second to do that, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. All right, so this unit is now completely built. As you can see, my lock is in there, the camera is in there. There's a wire there. What we're gonna do first and foremost, if I can do this one-handed, is take your wire. You're gonna wanna run it up and fish it in through here. I know it's difficult to see in there, so I apologize for that, but you're gonna fish it up through here. Down real quick. Sorry about that. So you want to fish it up and around. You have a couple course options here. We can bend with this cable and just zip it here, and then follow this cable out the back here. We can just tie it to this, and then we're going to notch this a little bit, and we're going to feed it right in through this little slot here where this piece connects into. So I don't think it's really too difficult to understand. Again, you just want to fish the wire through, essentially through the body panel through here, and then out that, and follow the wire along. And then the same thing we did to get this piece, the original piece, out, we're going to reverse to do back in. So I'm going to do that real quick again, because it's just hard to see and kind of difficult to do with one hand. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I'm going to show you what the tailgate looks like as soon as we're done. Alright, so I got that all done. As you can see, the wire just runs along this wire here, and I made a little notch in the connector, or the, sorry, not the connector, the cover right here, and I fed the cable in there. Everything else is going to be done underneath the vehicle. Essentially what we're going to be doing is tying in under the vehicle. We do have to find one ground back here. I have self-tapper, so I can run those if I need to. We're going to run along the vehicle. We're going to punch into the cab underneath here, underneath the floor mat, and essentially we're just going to come up and around it into the back of the radio. So I'm going to go ahead and start the process of routing that. It's not very complicated. I'll show you where I put my ground and all that, just so if you guys want to do it at the same spot, you have the idea. I also got to let this thing charge for a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just run those cables around, and I will show you everything in a little bit. Thanks. Okay, so I did want to bring you back real quick. Oh, that's sun. Well, I did want to bring you back real quick because, so I have the cable laid out here, as you can see, along the ground. And what I'm going to do, what I wanted to bring you back for, which, by the way, all of these are probably going to be used. I do actually have one question for you. So I want to run aground, right? But I don't want to take the paint off my car. So what I'm going to do is a washer here and a washer here, and sandwich this connector between the two with a self-tapping screw. What are the thoughts on that? I don't really know. I can change this at any point in time. So if anybody wants to comment and just let me know, I 100% appreciate it. But anyway, what I want to do is I want to take this here, and I just wanted to show you this before I went ahead and did it. I'm going to just get back to work and kind of keep off the camera for a little bit. But what I want to do is take this piece here, tape it to you can see under here, that reel of wire right there is actually speaker wire. What I did, it's going to be difficult to see, but what I ended up doing was actually routing that in through the frame right here, and it runs inside the frame all the way to back there. It's going to come out right next to the gas tank. It'll just have to basically go up over the axle and tie right into the back of the truck back there. So I do recommend this, but if you have fish tape, it's a little bit easier, obviously, because fish tape is stiff. But this is definitely a great route to go. Another thing I did is just get back here real quick. Another thing I did here, as you can maybe be able to see, it's super dark. I apologize, but there is a hole right there behind the e-brake cable that I drilled. I do have a grommet to go there, and I'm actually going to probably just put some silicone there or something like that to be able to keep the water out. I'm going to go ahead and jump back into it, just get it knocked out real quick. You guys see how I'm doing it? I don't think it's complicated to route the wires, so I don't think we really need to go into detail with it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it, and then I'll bring it back when I start working on the dash section. Thanks. All right, guys, so everything up to this point is done. This is just hot glue, honestly. I put a grommet there, you can see. But so far, everything we've got done is we've got the cable routed up into the body. So we are in the truck now, which is great. I still have to clean up back here, but I'm using this as kind of my workspace. And after that, what you will be able to see, hopefully, is right there. Yeah, right there. That's where I put my ground at. Now this goes metal here, washer, the connection for the wire, washer, and then the screw is there. The place that I got sloppy, I just kind of tied this up out of the way. But I have the wire, the aux cable running all the way up along the frame, and then the upside down view runs all the way up there. So next step is gonna be, let's go ahead and get the, oh shit in my eye. Let's go ahead and get the dash torn apart. Step one is gonna be, let's find the correct size thing to use. I don't know why I keep doing this with my hands, like I'm Donald Trump over here. So let's go ahead and, it's dark in here. I've got an absolute pigsty, but let's go ahead and find the correct size, and they're not in there. This is why you should clean up your tools every day, but I'm lazy and I didn't do it, and now I am regretting it. Let me see if that one's it. And here's a dirt bike that I'm rebuilding right now. I still gotta get it done, but problem is the engine's all over here, the cover. What had happened was the water pump, so on the other side, ended up failing, and it leaked coolant into the clutch area. So this whole clutch pack here is shot. Gotta replace this whole assembly. Well, I don't have to really replace this cage, just the clutches. And then carb's probably shit. The head looks good. No major issues. A little bit of stuff up in there, but we'll clean that out, no big deal. Everything is here in bags as far as labeling them goes. And then the piston itself isn't shot, but it's not in great condition. So I don't even know if I'm going to rebuild this damn thing. And I've got it all torn apart. I got it for $100, so it was just a whatever bike. It's just an 80 kind of. I was going to have it just to ride around, throw it in the back of the truck when we go camping, just to have it. But at this point, I might just buy another one, four-wheeler or something like that. Haven't really decided yet, but I don't know. Either way, let me get back to finding the tool that I need to do this goddamn job. Again, seems to be missing. However, what I do have is this. Alright, so I believe it is a T15, I want to say. Let's go ahead and hop up here and check. So either way, the spots that you want to check when we're doing the dash here is going to be up here in this little cage area. You want to remove this. You'll find 2 screws here and here. And then in this pocket here, if you remove this, is 1 more screw back there. So let me just verify this because I want to make sure I give you guys the correct information. I'm actually going to start with a T20. That's what it looks like it is. And yep, it is a T20. So I'm going to go ahead and take this dash apart real quick, and I will be right back with you. Alright, so sorry about this, but apparently I did not record it, and I don't want to install all this again. So once you get the 4 screws out of the the 3 screws out of the dash, just pry the dash back. It'll pop right off, no problem. Then you got these 4 screw holes, 4 here, 7 millimeter, 7 millimeter, 7 millimeter, 7 millimeter. That'll let the radio fall out. Once the radio's out, you want to disconnect the factory plug from here, which is connected now to this adapter. You want to go ahead and install the adapter to the factory plug side, and then plug the factory adapter right in here. And then off of this, you see there is a another cable that comes off, and this is going to be your module, your controller. So this comes off, it plugs right into there, real easy. You have this long white cable here, which is a power cable. This power cable is actually going to be connected directly to the power cable that comes up from the floor. Here it is. So anyway, it's going to connect actually directly to this one. I do hate when kids do this. Like, if it's red, keep it red. Don't keep bouncing around. It's just super annoying and confusing. I'm going to say this because in the same vein that I'm saying that now, I actually had to extend my ground cable here, and I just used a piece of white just to kind of test out to see something. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. I'm going to tuck everything back. All this will fit into the dash, and give me 1 second. Let's see what's going on. Sorry, all this will tuck back in here. You got plenty of space, so I'm gonna route all this stuff back in here. I want to make this accessible, so I want this to tuck kind of just right over there. Oh, also, you do want to set your dip switches here. 2 up, 5 up, 6 up will allow you to use the factory buttons here on the back of the dash to turn the camera on and off. So let me go ahead and button this up, and I will be right back with you guys. So time to test this thing out. So I did hook the power and ground up. They're just loosely laid down here just so I can test and make sure everything works. So what we'll do is turn the key on. I'm gonna take a look at the screen here. Let this thing boot up. See what she says. See if I can get this so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. Yep. Accept. Stay there. Foot on the brake. Let's throw her in reverse. And there you go. So, as you can see, I've got the tailgate down still. So, as you can see, looks pretty good. Camera's not the highest quality, but it's definitely good enough. The only thing I want to focus on is really that ball. You know, me setting this thing up and getting that hooked into the trailer alone is difficult. So I want to do that. Also, when I work in the city and I do take my pickup truck, I want to make sure that I can actually see what I'm looking at. So, you know, it just bounces between here. Everything looks great. Check your surroundings. One thing I don't have right now is lines, but I don't really need those. I'm not too worried about those. So, yeah, everything looks good to me. Should be great. Let's go ahead and clean it all up and reinstall the dash. One thing I didn't mention, the length here. So I want to keep this length of cables that I have. I mean, it looks like I have a lot of stuff drooping down. What I'm going to do though, I'm going to cleanly bunch all of this up. Either wrap it with tape, and then I have cable management Velcro pieces that I'm going to put around it. But I want to keep it long in case I ever have to do something. If something gets messed up somehow, I can just quickly pull it out, cut it back, redo some pieces, and then call it a day. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this piece up right here, and then that should be it. Trim piece has to go back in, so I can actually go ahead and get that back in here for you. Show you how to do that piece. So just pull this here, which apparently a monster put this on, so just pull that back. You're gonna grab your cover here. This should line up right in there. And as you can see, there's these little holes. It's hard to see, but there's little holes right here and here. Better one here and here. This is gonna just line up in there. This just pops on and off. Really not difficult to do whatsoever. You saw that just popped right back in there. Let's go ahead and get this thing lined up so we get the top in. All right, top pops in, bottom pops in. As you can see, this kind of grooves back in here. So what you want to actually do is, once you get the top pieces back in, you want to go ahead and put your cover on so it runs down here. And then what we're going to do is just move this, and it's hard to do this with one hand. All right, there we go, tuck all of it back so it lines back up here. Go ahead and press all this down so it gets back in there. So I'm gonna hold those up real quick. There we go. So you see now it's all back in there. It's all clean except for this one piece being a bitch. This is why it's good to have picks laying around. There we go. All right. So with that all under there, this piece here just routed under. You can go ahead and literally just pop that piece back in, and that'll do her. Should be it. I got some cleaning up to do, obviously, like right here. I've got to just pop that piece back out, but I'll go ahead and do that in a little bit. And then in the meantime, I'm going to tie that cable up, and we'll take it for a test run and see if I can line it up with the old beast. Alright, so we are all cleaned up, as you cannot see because it's too dark. You can't see any wires hanging down, so we're gonna go ahead and pull the beast forward, and let's see what the camera looks like when we try to back up on the trailer. So we'll just oh man, yeah, that's not bad at all. Again, it is tilted down a little bit far for my liking, but as you can see, you know, we can guide that thing right in there if we had to. I do have it down lower than the ball right now, so if I go back too far, I'll bump it. But as you can see, you know, we can get right up to it, right there. And let's throw it in park. We're gonna roll back a little bit, so we probably just hit it, but let's see what we're looking like. No, actually, we weren't as close, but either way, I mean, the distance from the camera here to here, you know, just visually to be only this far away, this is much better than where I was at. And again, it is comparable in cost, but it's not the same price as the OEM one. OEM may have been a little bit easier, but this kit was definitely easy to do. So I will do a quick review and be right back with you. All right, so we are 90% cleaned up. I just want to go over a quick, where do I feel I stand with this kit? How do I feel about it? I would say, honestly, for ease of installation, this kit is definitely good. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10 for ease of installation. It was really easy, simple. Again, the instructions are shit, but if you can figure it out, it's easy to do. For camera quality itself, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. Isn't the best quality. I don't have guidelines on it, and I think it's because I cut a wire that said cut for guide. So I cut it, and now I don't have guidelines. So I think that's where it's messed up, which kind of pisses me off because it wasn't very clear. I could probably read the instructions and figure that out, so I can't blame them. Everything else went smooth up front. Easy to do. Again, decent quality for a non-OEM piece. Works on the factory screen without me having to replace it. I don't have an extra screen somewhere. I don't have all that stuff. So overall, I am happy. Do I recommend it? Yes. Where did I buy it? I bought it directly off of Crutchfield's website. I'm in Maryland, so they shipped it one day to get to me. And yeah, and I do gotta say, this truck is gonna look good towing that camper back there. Maybe I'll get in touch with Big Truck Big RV, and we can do a medium truck medium RV meetup if I ever make it down to I think he's in Texas. So but either way, guys, let me know what you think. If you want to see this quality, if you don't want to see it, if you care, if you don't care. I'm all about it. I don't want to go crazy. crazy uploading stuff. I'm not a daily uploader. I've got a full-time job I've got to work. Don't got time for it. My fiance, soon-to-be wife, she is uploading as well. Jillian Gross is her channel. She's probably going to change it, so I'll link her down below just in case. If you guys don't mind, please like, please share, please subscribe, and I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.